This is Let's Talk Business with your hosts, Marc Ebinger and Heather Boehme. Now, here's Marc.
Welcome to Let's Talk Business, a show that talks entrepreneurship with some of the best businesses in the San Antonio area. Coming up on the show today, we're going to talk with Max Hicks, the owner and operator of Reliant Plumbing, a very highly rated plumbing company. Max, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And so you're in Austin, now you're launching here in San Antonio, is that correct?
Yes, it is. We've been here for a few months now.
Awesome. I'm excited to get into that conversation. We're also going to talk with Jose Buentello.
Buentello.
Hey. I got it. I tried.
You're doing great. You're doing great, Marc.
A certified, a realtor with Harvest Real Estate Group, brokered by eXp Realty.
Mm-hmm.
Jose,
Yes,
welcome to the show.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
And I can't wait to get into what you're doing as well.
Thanks, man.
The concept of eXp Realty to me is interesting.
It is.
I like a lot of things about that.
Thank you. Yep.
So we'll talk about it. In studio with us today is Heather Boehme, a certified business coach that works with business owners to gain clarity and achieve their goals. Heather, welcome back to the show.
Always good to be here.
And I'm your host, Marc Ebinger, the owner of Crükus Marketing Agency, a company that specializes in giving small businesses a competitive edge by hiring low-cost administrative and social media experts from outside the United States. This is how I've built my entire company. I'm up at 23 employees now.
Nice.
And I started hiring my first one in August of last year. So it's been
Wow.
a year.
It's gone quick.
And I've grown pretty fast. And I know, Max, you've been in business 9 years, I think
9
you said,
years,
right?
yeah.
So, and you're how many employees now?
Right at 50.
Right at 50.
Nice.
All right. So I'm going to try and catch up to you as quick as I can.
There you
So
go.
W-2 employees, 50. I've got, non-W-2, about another 25, 26.
Okay.
Wow,
I love
yeah.
it.
Man.
That's awesome. All right. Quick reminder for our listeners, you can catch video and podcast versions of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. And if you are a business owner in the area and would like to be featured on the show, visit our website at satalkradio.com or call our office at 210-960-8210, and we'll get you booked on the show. So as talking entrepreneurship, I think something that's important, it has been huge for me, is this idea of business coaching.
Nice.
So, and Heather, I know your background is in real estate, where
Yes.
you got business coaching even in real estate, which I didn't even know was a thing,
Yep.
and did extremely well with it. So I guess my question for you guys is, start with Jose.
Sure.
Have you done any business coaching in your expertise in your job?
So basically, we do have a business coach, and I am trying to become a business coach.
Oh, sweet.
So we have the #1 digital marketing expert in the nation, and she basically teaches us how to do real estate in a new manner. And so, yes, I believe 100% in coaching. I eventually want to become a coach because real estate may come and go, but the knowledge never will. And so that'll stick with you 100%.
Yeah, and if you want to learn something, teach it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And
It's like in the plumbing world, right? So
Yeah.
you're a master plumber, Max. And so, I mean, you teach it, I imagine, you've taught it for probably years and years and years, right?
Yep.
For folks. So when it comes to business coaching, have you tapped into that on your side for what you're building out yet?
So with my employees, we do a lot of training. We do a lot of coaching. Me personally, I've never had that opportunity, but I'm open to it.
And I'll share with you how it was a big deal for me, right? So Heather's been my business coach now for a few months.
Nice.
And I was like, do I want to spend the money on business coaching?
Yes.
How's this going to work? Whatever. So, but there's been a couple of pivotal. Thank you.
Nice.
Pivotal moments.
no worries. Nobody needs English.
Right? I need an English coach, right? But those pivotal moments, I don't know why I want to say pivotal, but where I thought maybe I was going to have to spend money on something, or I
Yeah.
didn't know how to address something.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather was like, well, let's approach it this way. And I was
Yeah.
like, I turned something that was going to be a cost into not something that wasn't a cost. It was actually a benefit.
Yep.
Flipped it completely around, totally paid for it. It's like, wow, that's a big deal. Not only that, but she's a little bit of a marriage counselor.
Oh, nice.
In a way,
I'm not going to
true marriage
advertise
counselor.
that.
But my wife, Jennifer, she has somebody that's listening, right? And it's like when she has input and stuff like that, because you know how it goes. But anyway, so just huge factors. So, Heather, just kind of conceptualize real quick some of the benefits you bring for small businesses when it comes to this idea of business coaching and why it's so valuable.
Well, I always like to put it in a way that I got value out of it because I think that's the best way to talk about anything. What I loved about having a business coach in my business when I was building it was having that third party, not tied to the results person that I could kind of spew all of my thoughts and ideas and everything running around in my head onto and help me clarify that. So really, my job is not to tell you what to do in your business, fix your problems, anything like that. It's really to help gain clarity on what's going on in your head and help you find solutions to what's going on in your business. Really, if my clients can walk away with clarity to change their actions in every coaching call or to redirect their time or energy or think about something in a different way, that's the goal. I don't pretend to be an expert in everybody's business because that's not what I bring to the table. It's really, let's talk about what's going on in your world and what you're stuck on and try to give you a way to get around it. It's not always super glaringly obvious, but generally if the door is closed, there's a window or a vent or a tunnel you can go to get through that same wall without spending the time and energy to actually hack through it with
And I
hammer.
would not be without a business coach now.
Yep. Exactly.
And I'm not making millions of dollars. You know what I mean? I'm making all right money, but I'm like, it's worth it because I'm actually planning to grow, right? So there's a big difference between job owner and business owner. Max, you're definitely not a job owner. You are a business owner when you're that big, right? That's a different mindset. That's the mindset I've had from the beginning. Did you have that from the beginning?
No, I looked at my competitor in the space, and I just said if I had 10% of that, I would be completely happy. But you know, as you grow and as your ambitions grow, everything grows, and you know you want to be able to accomplish more and you know hit some larger goals. And I wish so many times that I had somebody to spew all that stuff out before I go into a meeting, and you know. It's just not calculated, and it doesn't come off well, and really, you know, to do something to say no, I want to do something else next week. So that I do see a lot of value in that for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, and Jose, so when it comes to real estate, it's a little bit different than you know building a plumbing company. But how, do you look at it as like job owner, or are you looking to build a business around this?
That's a great question. So I always tell people you're either looking to build, you can either try to build a hobby or build a business, and one of them is only buildable, and it's a business. And so I'm not building a hobby, I'm scaling. And so right now I'm adding people to my organization. I've just hired an assistant, and I'm looking always to delegate, because let's be honest, there's some things that we just don't want to do.
What's your assistant do? Because that's my world, so I'm very curious what your assistant do.
She does all my schedule. She looks at my calendar. She sets up all my appointments. She does all of the background stuff where she does my newsletters, my postcards. She sends out all the happy birthdays, happy anniversaries. She does all my closing gifts. So I don't have to do any of that.
What about your paperwork?
Great question. We also have an in-house transaction coordinator.
There we go.
So literally for us, it's just getting the business and getting to the closing table.
That's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
for me, I secure when I sell like on social media services or I do outsourcing. Once I secure the client, we go through and make sure the needs are met, and then it goes to the staff. Just like in the plumbing world, right? Maybe you're making the deal with other businesses. Who do you, Max, concentrate on when it comes to growing the business? You're not going after the homeowner.
No.
What are you going after?
So me personally, now where I'm at, I really focus in on my managers and growing them and like I said, coaching them, training them. I will talk to some large property management groups still, have communications with them, you know, so I still go, you know, I'm in the trenches dealing with them, but not everybody anymore. So.
And then once you have that business, then it goes and gets taken care of, right?
Yeah.
You're not the one going out there and doing the plumbing side of things. You may visit a job site, which is great. Same thing with me. I'll have interaction with clients and stuff here and there, but primarily it's somebody else taking care of the business. And that's where we have to get to, the difference between being a job owner and a business owner.
Yeah, and it's funny we're talking about this because when I first got in, I mean, year one, I was reading, Googling how to be a business owner.
There you go.
And it said, as soon as your task, like you have a full day's task, hire someone.
Yep.
And that just made it so simple for me. It just, when you do that though, and then you have no responsibilities, you got to get to something next. You know, that is the hard part. It's like, okay, now you need to do something else. What's the best thing to focus on?
You have to continually be pushing forward. Well, that's the job of the entrepreneur, is to be the tip of the spear, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
But there's the whole rest of the spear that's necessary for the accurate, I guess, path of the spear, wherever the spear is going. You need the rest of it.
You do.
But you're the tip of the spear kind of thing, which that's where I like to be. That's the most fun for me.
Yeah,
is doing that kind of stuff.
Well, and the thing is, you'll actually do it if you focus in on what you're good at and what you like to do, and that brings the most value to your business. Then you'll actually do it at a high level versus being like, oh, I need to sit on the phone and make a bunch of phone calls, and I hate doing it. I'm going to avoid it as much as possible.
Yep.
And it's a necessary evil, but if you could delegate it and then just do something that's going to pour into your business at a higher level, you're going to get way more value out of that than just
that was the
forcing
first thing I
yourself.
did with my podcast was I hired somebody to do the calls to start booking folks for the show.
Smart.
Now I have a whole team around it, but it's like that's because I hate cold calling.
Yeah.
I had fun doing it for like first couple of days, but then I'm like, oh,
No.
God. And that was back when I was on KTSA, so it's a lot of fun saying, hey, I got a show on KTSA, you want to go? And people are like, well, hell yeah, I want to go. So, all right, well, let me introduce Max here real quick, get into your segment. First up on the show is Max Hicks, a master plumber and the owner of Reliant Plumbing, a company with a reputation for exceeding customer expectations. Max, welcome to the show.
Hey.
I'm excited to have you here, man. So you got a Austin branch, and I did a little research on you because I was a cop for 30 years, right? So I do a little bit.
I knew it.
In other words, I spent 5 minutes on Google to figure everything out, right? So, but anyway, so your Austin branch, 752 Google reviews at 4.9 stars. Now that is no easy task.
So that's one location.
Yes.
That's the Austin location,
Yes.
and I've got a Lakeway location that has about 1,400.
Oh,
What?
wow.
How
You
did I
missed the
miss that
biggest
one?
one.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at
No, those
investigations,
20
I
years,
guess.
man.
Yeah. I look at San Antonio and there's like 45. I'm like, come
No,
on.
actually,
come on.
there's 45 reviews at 5-star, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you're growing. So, I guess I want to ask real quick, how are you doing so good on the Google reviews? Do you guys like focus on making sure you do outreach to get those reviews, or is it just like, whatever?
Yeah, so big thing we do is challenges. I've done several different challenges, but you get everybody in the group and you make it a contest, and people love it.
Yeah.
I mean, we charter boats, go fishing. I did this thing. It was real funny. It was cornhole, and however many reviews you got that week, you got so many bags, right? And you got a chance. So you had everybody, looking at you. All you had to do was get it in the hole, and you got $100.
Oh, nice.
So it
Ooh,
was
I like
it was
that.
it worked out well for us, though. It was good, and everybody got real involved in it, and yeah, that's a big way we've got a bunch of reviews.
I like that positive competition.
Yep.
Everybody likes a little bit of the competitiveness.
So, you're running. How many branches of your business do you have now?
So 3 branches total.
Okay. San Antonio, Austin, and what's the other? Lakeview, you said?
Lakeway.
Lakeway.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Lakeway at?
Lakeway's outside of Austin, west. Little ways.
Okay, so when you said I had looked at my competitor and I wanted 10%, I was like, wow, he only had one competitor in Austin.
No,
but you're talking
the
about
biggest
Lakeway.
competitor.
Okay.
The biggest. I looked at the biggest competitor, and I was like, man, if I could just be that 10% of that, that was my biggest dream at that time.
And you've gone from there to 3 locations. What do you think is the biggest catalyst that took you from where you are then to where you are now?
So big thing is I've been in the industry since I was 16. I'm 39 now, so been in a few years, know a lot of people, and everybody knows now. I mean, labor. That's everything. That is your business.
That's right.
So it's been great to grow up with these people and get that reputation as someone who does what they say they're going to do, and is a positive person to work for and not putting people down. People want a positive environment where they feel like they're taken care of. It's getting those right people and building on that, and the marketing. Has been amazing in finding that one person that I really, really connect with to try to market the wholesomeness, the brand that we want to to show. So yeah.
And how's it been breaking into San Antonio?
So it's slow. So having problems with permitting issues with our new building
Yeah, you
here.
chose the Alamo Heights location.
Yeah, I did. I heard that's where to be, is Alamo Heights. But the permitting has gone very, very slow, but we've been able to dispatch from home, running 5 or 6 guys out here, 5 or 6 trucks. And we're staying busy. Love it. It's just the permitting side and getting into our building that we've had some struggles with.
What's the challenge for San Antonio?
So
permitting, obviously, but what else?
Permitting. The challenge with San Antonio versus Austin is we had to change some pricing to be 100% honest.
You have
be
to
competitive.
lower your pricing.
We had to lower our pricing to be more competitive in this space.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying, right? You got to compete with the other folks. Who's your biggest competitor here, you think?
Who do we got? We got Buyer Boys.
Okay.
We got Roto-Rooters, the ARS. Those are big competitors.
Okay. And what's your goal here in San Antonio?
Goal.
Do you want to be the biggest or what?
No, I mean, I never focus on being the biggest, even though I will end up being that way.
Nice. There you go.
It's just
Let's
gonna
go.
happen.
Yeah, it is going to happen. I mean, and it's so good because I can look at all my data in the software, and it's like where we were, where we are now, and I would love to hit the same as I'm in Austin. Moving around 30 trucks. Somewhere around there. That's a very comfortable place to give the community a good service because you have to have that volume. Just a couple of trucks is you can do it, but the bigger you are, the more you're able to offer stuff off. You're able to really take care of your customers. There's a happy medium, and it's around there for us.
And,
What do you?
Oh, sorry.
What do you think where's the change? What's the difference between like you being successful where you're at versus the plumber who's doing it himself, maybe with one other guy, and they just don't know how to get to that next level where there might be 2 or 3 levels between them and you, but what's the change that has to happen for a plumber starting a company versus where you're at?
So it was so hard for me coming from someone who works every day. And then to work on, building a brand and working in the company, it's 2 different jobs. And when you're working, especially in plumbing, you're doing something all day and you know exactly what to do. You know the task ahead of you. So it's very uncomfortable to get outside of that and not know what to do and try stuff and fail a lot of times because you just started. So it's like walking, you're gonna fall a few times. But the biggest thing is just do it, and there's never a right time. There's never someone that waves the magic wand and said, okay, you can do this. It's just you start it and you do it and you just stay to it.
Yeah, you fail forward.
Yep.
Like that. Well, I was going to ask one step further on that question.
Yeah.
You were in Lakeway, Austin, and San Antonio. What's the ultimate goal?
So I would love to be in Dallas. From here to Dallas is my ultimate goal. San Antonio, Austin,
Waco,
and then Waco. But before that, I'd go a little west there, Bastrop and Lakeway. So east and west right there, and then Waco, and then Dallas.
Is that where the growth in Texas? Because I know up and down 35s, I mean, it's just, especially between us and Austin, it's going to just explode. It's exploding already,
The
right?
Texas Triangle.
But I could see all the way to Dallas, because Dallas is only like 4 hours away, which would be 6 hours within the next 5 or 10 years, right? But
but we ran the Google Analytics, and that's really where it comes down to is how many searches in our space is San Antonio getting versus Austin versus Dallas versus the other markets, Houston, with Laredo. Why I'm not going to those other places is just strictly the search volume,
the analytics.
Yeah, the analytics, and I mean knowing how to read that stuff in and Google, it can help you out so much. It really can.
Well, I think
So
that's key.
I'd love to talk business as much as we can, but I also want to get
Yeah.
into some stuff that you guys specifically do before we run out of time.
Yeah.
So you guys do what's called trenchless pipe repair.
That's a big thing we do.
So if you can, like within a minute or so, just
Yeah.
explain what that is and why it's beneficial.
So right where we're at now is or where we were at before trenchless pipe repair. If you had needed new sewer lines underneath your home, we would have to tunnel underneath your home, take out all the old pipe, and put new pipe in, and then fill that hole up and hope there's nothing wrong with your foundation. Now we can actually put a device in that coats the pipe and makes it brand new.
Really?
Yeah, you don't no digging, no tearing up your yard, none of that. We can just reline all the pipes, and where you can service it again, you can if you ever had a clog, you can still run a snake, 'cause on some of those you can't. And that's been very beneficial for us. Just it saves so much time. It's less expensive and less downtime too. Because I mean, when you're digging under someone's home and taking out all their plumbing, I mean they're down for 3-4 weeks.
That's
So is there a
massive
certain type of
cost.
piping that you can't do that with?
So there's certain trenchless pipe systems that because it is the new thing in the plumbing world, and some of them you can't run a snake back in. You'd have to hydrojet, which would be awful. You'd want to be able for the pipe that's brand new that you're paying a lot of money for to be able to handle a snake, because you're not going to know. You're going to just ask the plumber to fix it, and we don't want to set our customers up for failure.
Right.
We want them to be able to maintain the new thing that we just gave them.
How does somebody know if you can do that or not? Do you have to come out and actually see?
Yes, we have to come out, run a sewer camera. We have to check up on everything, and then give you a quote and go from there.
Do a lot of other plumbing companies have access to this type of feature?
No, and it's real. You got to be careful, because some people they say they do, and then they just sub it out, and then you're paying a middleman, and we have that equipment. We're dedicated in doing that. We do it every day, and we're very good at it.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of territory. It went by fast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a fast.
Really
I think
quick.
we actually went a little over, but that's cool. So, Max, if folks want to get in touch with you, they want to hire your services, what's the best way for them to reach out to your company?
Just Google Reliant Plumbing in your area, Austin or San Antonio, and we'll be happy to help.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Max.
No problem.
It was a good conversation. All right, next
Good
up
job,
on the
Max.
show is Jose Buentello.
Nice. Thanks, Mark.
I got it. All right.
Yeah.
A realtor
moving.
with the Harvest Real Estate Group, brokered by eXp Realty. Jose, welcome to the show.
Hello. How are y'all?
Doing good. So, Rookie of the Year, Agent of the Year,
Yeah.
5-star rating on Google with
Yes.
23 reviews, which is, hey, my reviews are in the 20s, and I've been doing this for probably, I've been after reviews for maybe 6 or 8 months.
It's funny. I
Slow.
should have more, but I think Google
They
has
do.
blocked me or something.
They'll do that.
Yeah, and
They
it's a
throttle
pain
them
in
back.
the-
They do,
Mhm.
and so I'm in all humility, I should be in like the 30s and 40s. But yeah, they've put a stop to the reviews for some reason. I've tried contact Google. If you're listening, open me up, please.
That
but-
happened to me. I had to be on the phone with them, and then I waited in the queue for like a week for
Yes.
someone to call me back, and then
Yep.
they were like, "Oh, we'll just change it." So it's just
You know how
a
to get around
process.
that? You have an executive assistant that you give access and assign it to them and have them go after all that crap for you.
Okay.
I mean, there's always a better way to do it, right? Because I
There
don't want
is.
to tie up
Just
my time
bugging
on
'em.
that.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
also do military relocation. Like you got a
I
certification
am
in that.
MRP certified. Correct.
So in your prior military, yes?
No,
or
so crazy story. I graduated in 2016 from UTSA, Go Runners, and I was going to go off into the Air Force. I was 2 weeks away from touching down on basic, which is just a couple of miles
Yeah.
up the road.
Mhm.
I'm a big believer, so I'm going to talk about him. The Lord told me otherwise, so I stayed here. He's like, you're going to stay here. You're going to raise men up in the church. You're going to find your wife and start a family. And so I did. And that's when I actually got hired with the Office of Refugee Resettlement. So I didn't do the Air Force. I got hired on with ICE. And then I actually worked in this building this same building for like 2 years
Oh,
for
really?
the federal courts. Yeah, for a company called Pacer. I think it's on floor 3 or 4. So that urban pickle downstairs, it's so good. That restaurant, I don't know if it's
Really?
still down there. Oh, it's
What
delicious.
kind of food do they have down there?
You
It's like
know,
sandwiches and
it's like
stuff, I
sandwiches,
think.
but it's like this crazy combination that you wouldn't think of, but it's delicious. But yeah, I was gonna go into the Air Force. I love my military and I love my teachers, because my wife has been a teacher for 12 years, but she just quit to be a stay-at-home mom. And
So
but it's been
what
cool.
led you to eXp Realty?
So I was working here, and like I said, being behind a desk is just not for me. It might be for some people, but it's not for me. I knew that there was something more for my life. I've always been fascinated with real estate. I love people, and I love with real estate, you just don't really lose. And so with a car sale, it's depreciation right off the lot. Well, you can walk in with equity. Your lot will appreciate. You can depreciate your house. And so there's a lot of benefits to buying and selling a home and owning multiple assets. And so for me, I thought, man, this is the best way to be self-employed, to be genuine, and to give people the best of myself and the best ability to build generational wealth. Because biblically it says to leave an inheritance for your children's children. And so if you left all of these assets to your kids and the kids, they'd be set for life.
Well, we know Max is working on that.
Yeah,
right?
good job, Max.
Yeah.
Max is moving and grooving.
Legacy is important.
It
you know
is.
what I mean? If you can pass something on, you feel like you really accomplished something because we're only here for a certain amount of time. You know
When
what I mean?
having that
Very
higher
brief.
purpose for your business,
Yep.
I think is key, because otherwise, I mean, what we do is not easy.
It's
I mean,
not.
it might not be super complicated at
Yep.
times, but it's definitely not easy. You have to choose to do it even when it's
Yep.
hard.
Mhm.
And if you're just doing it for the money, that quickly stops motivating.
Yep.
It's surprising how quickly.
Yeah. We always say it's always relational, never transactional. So I never look at people as like, dude, you're a big commission check. I always look at people as a service. And so I always tell people, I'm gonna give you all the information in the world. And at the end of the day, even if you don't go with me, I'm okay, because I've served you in one way, shape, or another. Most of the time they do, but there's instances where they'll go somewhere else, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me one
Well,
bit.
you can't control what they're going to do necessarily.
Exactly.
In no sense being all bitter about it. But I'm a bit more assertive in that.
Sure.
I believe that I'm exceptional at what I do.
Exactly.
And you'd almost be crazy not to choose me for your services.
No, it's true.
And especially when I'm back it up with I put my name behind it.
Exactly.
So that's kind of my posture when it comes to what I'm doing. How's your posture on? I get it that you want to serve and inform.
Oh, what else?
But are you the best at what you do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
So you're a
I'll
little
tell
cocky
people-
then.
Well, more confident.
I just sucked it right in.
More confident.
He's got a family
than
to
anything.
support here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Confident
More
in your ability.
confident than anything.
Yeah.
Just because I'll tell people, you can go with whoever you want, but I'll get you to the finish line.
Yeah.
100%.
And it makes a big difference
does.
in real estate who your agent is
Yep.
to getting you to the. I don't think people realize that.
Yep.
So many people get their license, and this is something that's pretty widely known. 80% of agents who get their license quit
Fell
within the
out.
first 2 years.
Yep.
And it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yep.
So you went from getting your license to being rookie of the year your first year. What
An
were some of the
agent.
challenges you faced that you didn't expect?
There was nothing I didn't expect. I knew real estate was hard. I mean, that's a great question. I know it's hard. It's difficult being in self-employed. No one's motivating you. No one's checking up on you. Now, I'm a little bit different. I still have an accountability group. I have mindset coaches. But you have to, there's one thing about having an accountability group, and there's another thing about being aware that you need to be held accountable. And so I was like, okay, I need to implement what they're teaching me. And so I think the hardest thing for me was quitting my 9-to-5, having the federal government benefits, the federal government pay, right? Being cozy. We were comfortable to not seeing a sale in 6 months.
Were you married when you quit?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What'd your wife think of that?
It's a great question.
She hit you while you were
Yeah, she loves
still
me so
there.
much. And she is, I love my mama bear. She is so supportive. She just wants to see me happy. And she
Sounds
was
like a
all
fairy
for it.
tale. Where's the nitty gritty?
Oh, the nitty-gritty? I mean,
come on now.
It's hard. I mean, there's 3 things that marriages struggle with. It's finances, intimacy, and trust. So you can have 2 of the 3, but you'll never have the 3. I promise you. And so there was times where it's like, Do I go back? And all you see is your bank account dwindling down, dwindling down. Yeah, we had our son, and then we were pregnant.
Ooh,
And so this is like, we went for it. It was full send. And there was 6 months, no paychecks. My first paycheck when I went full time was $300. You know,
Rentals.
Yeah, rental.
Yeah.
Now, but then it exploded where I hit 10 like that, and now we're on pace to do 15 to 20. And this month we were talking outside. This month is looking like a 20 to 25 K month. You know, and so it's a grind. But you got to stick with it. And the challenge
that pipeline, man. You got to keep that pipeline full.
And that's how agents fail, is they don't keep the pipeline busy.
Oh, it's always
What you do in 30 days will look back in 90.
How do you stay top of mind with with folks?
Oh,
in general?
social media. I do a lot of video marketing, a lot of funnel campaigns. We do a lot of postcards for our past clients. I do the 86-51 rule, where I can get 86 more transactions if I hit up 50 of my past clients and spend time with them for an hour. We do newsletters. I do community events. I'm launching a campaign this Saturday called Reach the Teach. And so every time you close with me, I'm going to give teachers $250 to do whatever they want with it. A lot of my stuff has come from SOI, so Sphere of Influence. I have a pretty big sphere. But we mix the old with the new. I do a little bit of everything, but I try to hone in on the 5. Social media, I have open houses. When I have a listing, I'll do 50 and 100. So I'll have a listing come up and I'll go door knock 50 to 100 houses. Statistically, people want to live near their relatives. And that's how I got a double dip. And so I represented the seller and the buyer.
So you're looking to ask them if anybody wants to buy a house that's being listed in that area.
That,
do you want
and
to choose
invite
your
them
neighbor?
to the open house.
Yeah. So I was going to ask kind of what's your secret sauce there, because I mean, competition's thick when it comes to the real estate, and everybody thinks they're a real estate expert, right?
Sure.
But when you're actually out there grinding it, what is it that you're doing that really helps you be so successful?
I think knowledge, and not riding the wave, but creating the wave.
There you go. Hustle.
Yeah. So knowledge for sure. Everyone is licensed. Not everyone's an agent. 100%. But again, not riding the wave. I'm trying to look to create the wave. Do you know where the interest rates are? Do you know where the Texas average interest rate are? Do you know in 2024 when they're going to come down? Do you know how to list a house?
Why does that matter for the average person?
Yes, it should matter, because if you don't buy now, it's going to be the frenzy of 2020 to 2022.
Wait, can we talk really quick, because you're in real estate?
Yeah.
About the new homestead tax law that's going through?
They're cranking it. That's
my
awesome.
gosh.
People are going to save so much.
Tell them a little bit about
Is it
that,
good or
because
bad?
I've been monitoring it. It's amazing.
We're going to get money, right?
Yes, you are going to get money. You are going to save a couple $100 every month. It was $40,000. Now you can go up to $100,000. Yeah. So this
I don't
is
even know
big.
what all that means.
And they're
'Cause my house
capping
is worth more than
commercial real
100,000.
estate taxes.
Yep.
So we're just talking about cutting our real estate, our property tax bill? Is that
so
what we're doing?
basically, your homestead, take whatever the value is, and you can kick it down $100,000 in value. So that'll save you about $100 a month on your PMI or property tax bill. But commercial buildings are now going to be capped instead of being able to go up infinite amounts. We talked about this on another podcast with what was his name, the Guillermo.
Okay.
He has had like an 800% increase in his property taxes.
Nice.
Wow.
So this now
Not
caps
nice.
commercial property.
I was like, not nice. I thought you were
That's
somewhere else.
ridiculous.
The thing is
crazy.
that I'm looking at this, and I went to the Economic Development Council meeting last week. Prices are going to go up because of this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Now that it's more affordable on both commercial and the residential side.
Yep.
So now's a great time to buy.
It's a great time to buy.
How are you? So you're creating a lot of social media content,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Are you doing video expertise content?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because it's like, look, if you're going to be really, really good in what you're doing, you need to let other people know, not without telling them. Tell me you're an expert without telling me you're an expert, kind of a thing.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. So I love that you're doing that.
Yeah.
We ran out of time, and there's I know there's so much more to talk
That
about.
was fast.
But that's just the nature of it. Of course, there's always an open invitation for you guys to come back.
Sure.
You just have to say yes and let my team know, and we'll get you invited back out.
How do you spend time with people? With your past clients?
Yeah, great question. So basically, I see if they have a family or if they don't, and I go from there.
Yeah.
So if they, I apologize. So if they have a family, it's my wife and I. So we tag team it. We invite them over for dinner. We make dinner and we spend time with them. And if they have kids, we invite them too. And if it's just an individual, then I'll take them out to lunch. but I am constantly
building relationships.
Building relationships.
All right, let me wrap
Nice.
up, and then we'll have
Yeah.
some after the show discussion. I think maybe we should record like an after the show kind of a thing.
Show
But
talk.
all right, to wrap up the show, quick reminder, check out our latest podcast or catch video versions of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. This was a great episode. Loved it. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so
Nice.
much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Yeah, for real. Thank you.